I'm Beatrice.
I'm Guilherme.
So today we're gonna show you 3 websites that are really good for people that are digital nomads or want to move to other country and search a little about the place before going. So here there's a list of every passport in the world, and then you can see like a global rank. That means the passports that are accepted in most countries. So like number 1 is Germany, and then you can see a list. But the cool thing is that you can compare passports or destinations as well. Select 2 passports. Let's select Portugal. So just select P and then Portugal, and then select a second passport. Let's see, Brazil. So for example, we have every country, and then it says if you need a visa or not, or how long you can stay. For example, if you have a Portuguese passport to go to Afghanistan, visa is required. The same if you have a Brazilian passport. Then Albania, you have a free 90 days visa. One that's different is Andorra, that from Portugal is visa free, and Brazil is a COVID ban. So this is updated. So they also say if your passport is banned in some other country because of COVID. So if you are in doubt, you don't know if you are allowed to go to a country, if you need a visa, how many days you're allowed, you can take a look here and check each country and the restrictions that you have.
That's very useful.
Very useful. So like we always compare, like if we don't know, for that country do we need a visa or not, how many days we are allowed to stay. For example, in Europe with a Brazilian passport usually is 90 days, but in some countries only 30 days. I've heard of people being allowed only 1 week of a free visa, or else they have to require even for a visa, even for tourist visas. So it's very interesting. They also have the total number here, like 132 countries, and Brazil is 100 countries, and then they have like the colors. That means that you have a visa, or if it's like you need to ask a visa, but it's okay to go as a tourist, or if you can't go if you're banned.
Yes, and you can compare even more than 2 passports.
Yeah, up to 5 passports you can compare.
That's very, very useful.
And it's also very useful if you have more than 1 passport. Some people have a dual citizenship, or if you are a couple that one has 1 passport and other has other passports. So that's very important as well. If you are a digital nomad couple and you are looking for destinations, it's good to know what are the requirements for each one of you.
So Nomad List, I think, is one of the most known ever. It was a very small website when they started, and now they are huge.
Yeah.
They are huge. And so huge that I think that you even need to pay now for you to have all the features. It's something that I thought was a little meh. But if it's something that is probably useful for people who already are on Nomad, it's very interesting. So for example, they have here already on the homepage the best cities to live as a nomad, and no surprise, Lisbon stands as the first one here. And then, for example, if you want to check, you can click here and see all the scores of the criteria that makes Lisbon the best city to live as a nomad. So for example, and this is all ranked by the users, so people who already been to Lisbon. So here, for example, you have the overall score that says
out of 5.
Yes, out of 5. It makes an average of all the criteria, and besides it, we can have here the number of the rank. Then family score, if the city is good or not for you to move with your family. Internet, that's something that is very, very important for people who live on internet, digital nomads. And then you can see here that has an average of 26 megabytes here. As we talked in our last video, we got very, very cheap internet for the price for
500
megabytes, so it's very good. Temperature is nice. So many people come from
Colder,
other countries, colder countries like France, UK, Ireland to spend the summer in Portugal. So that's not very surprising for us too. It's a very
Even in the winter, it's not that cold.
yes.
The winters are bearable.
Yes, and then here after you have the air quality. So Lisbon has a very good air quality. Safety, again.
It's actually the third safest country in the world, so
Yes.
that's really good.
So coming from a country that is
Probably the most dangerous on the list.
very, very dangerous, we can notice that very well, very, very easily. After the income level, so around, it says that it is around 1,646 monthly, but this is probably people who already work it, or because this is very far from
The reality is really lower than that.
yes.
But as a digital nomad, if your income is not sourced in Portugal, that wouldn't matter. That actually reflects the prices of everything else being cheaper. Because if people can live with a minimum wage, for example, here, that's actually like 3 times less than that, almost. So
Around 700,
Yeah.
800, the average salary. But anyway, after you have English speaking, Portugal is a country that is very easy to see people speaking English here.
yeah.
And French as
And
well.
French as well.
That's something that took us by surprise.
I was surprised, like especially Lisbon. When we go, some people just assume you're a tourist and they start speaking English. If you don't respond, they just change to French, like the second option.
And after here, walkability is a great walkability. So, for example, it's very good for us to walk through the cities. Here it talks about Lisbon. We already walked it by there, so it was very good, especially for us that we don't have a car, so
Yeah.
we didn't have any problems by walking from place to place.
So then we have traffic safety and happiness. That's very difficult to measure. So, but then like in general, what people revealed, and traffic safety I think is really safe. Here they said okay, but in general is okay. Free Wi-Fi in the city, yeah, we cannot find that easily. At least in Portugal, it's not that easy, but it's okay. They have good mobile Wi-Fi and at home as well, so not a problem. AC and heating is okay, and I understand why. In the winter, it could be very difficult for some people because some places they don't have heating. It's not very common to have heating because it's not that cold. But if you're coming from a warm country, then it could be a little colder than usual at home.
So it's very very interesting because we have friends from, for example, Poland. They arrive here saying like, "Oh my God, Portugal is so cold," and so like, "What? But you're from Poland? What's happening?" I say, "Yeah, but Poland is prepared for the cold, so the inside the houses is warm. What doesn't happen very often here in Portugal."
Well, yeah, it depends really where you're coming from and comparing, but don't expect heating in most places. And then we have freedom of speech and female friendly that I think go hand in hand. It's good. Startup score as well if you're building a business here. We don't know exactly because most digital nomads are not based in Portugal, so that is kind of difficult to measure as well. Then we have overall quality of life is a really good score, and we agree because it goes like with the safety and the cost of living. So talking about the cost is very affordable as well. Here it says around 1,600, but I think this is for Lisbon. Porto would be cheaper, but I've seen Porto before and it was a little higher than what we spend. It depends how. It's mostly rent. If you can get a good deal on your rent, you spend less.
People who are digital nomad probably can afford more than people who get the minimum salary here.
Yeah, fun is great. So Lisbon is a big city. You have a lot of options.
Yes, capital.
Yeah, humidity. It's comfy, so not very humid, not so bad. Air quality is also good. Education level, they put mediocre, but I really think depends where you come from to compare. Liked by members, so a lot of people, most people liked Lisbon when they did the reviews here on the website. People density, so it's good. Peace, so similar to the crime rate is low, it's very safe. Hospitals, people put as bad. We didn't have experience in Lisbon, but in Porto was quite good. The public health.
Very good, very good.
Was not in a hospital though, it was like a health clinic, but it was public. We didn't pay anything, and we had our appointment of the same day, so nothing to complain about health, at least for us. Nightlife is okay, places to work from, great, so I guess Lisbon has a lot of co-working spaces. There are some in Porto as well.
Yes, there.
Friendly to foreigners is good, especially most people speak English, so I think that's very easy to be a foreigner in Portugal in general. And racial tolerance is okay, yeah.
That's something that you have to discuss in another video.
Yeah, kind of agree on that one. And LGBTQ friendly, it's great. So this is just Lisbon, we're showing the first one, but you can see this for any city, even if they're not top of the ranking. If you were searching about a place that maybe is not that popular for digital nomads, but you want to check it out and see if it's good for digital nomads, you can see if other people been there and what are the reviews and their opinions about all of this. So this is like the rankings, but you can also check like the actual reviews that people are writing that maybe will give you a better idea. And then like specific places, like specific things like cost of living, and then cut down in like cost of living for a nomad or for expat, or different cost of living, how much is a Coca-Cola for example, or dinner. Yeah, dinner's around 6 is okay. Rent 800 or 600 for a studio. Lisbon could be more expensive. And then you have like specific, you can see the weather throughout the year, and like a digital nomad guides of everything you need to know about the place. So it's very useful if you're planning to go somewhere and you want to check if it's a good place for digital nomads or not.
And after here we have the Nomad one. It's very similar to the Nomad List in aspect of price and cost of living, but this is more specific about cost of living. Here you can select the city. So for example, let's say Lisbon, Porto. You have here Lisbon, and then after you want to compare Lisbon, you have everything here. So
if you just want to see the cost of living without comparing,
yes, you have the restaurant, so meal for 2 people, McDonald's, domestic beer, imported beer, market, what are the items, what usually people spend with, and it's very, very
detailed
and similar to the real one, so it's very good. Transportation, how much people spend with transportation, utilities, sports, childcare, and clothing and shoes, rent per month, buy apartments, price if you want to buy a place to stay around here, salaries and financing. Okay, so now we're going to choose Porto to compare. And Porto is cheaper than Lisbon. Let's check. Here you have Porto around 7 in meals. Lisbon is 9.57% of how more expensive is Lisbon. And here you can check.
There is one, like the domestic beer is the same price, so 0% difference. And there's Pepsi or Coke is a little more, 2 cents more expensive in Porto, so you can have all the comparisons.
Yes, but the most important one, I guess, would be rent, right? So you can see there's a huge difference, 670 and 846
in the city center, and then if it's outside of the center, 500. Yeah, it's about that.
Yes, and the prices of houses.
Yeah, it's half the price.
There.
And then you can compare not just in the same country, you can compare any city anywhere in the world and have a very detailed price of cost of living to have an idea before you move there. So these are the 3 websites that we wanted to show you. Let us know which one is your favorite and see you on the next video. Bye bye.
Everybody stay safe.